a midway cut like we did last time when the game just decided to crash on us. I think we should be all good. We've got 1 minute till we'll be going to qualifying, as per usual, 18 minutes and a 50% race. But I'm not going to be the only person speaking to you today. I have a co-commentator for BRL Wednesday. This is unbelievable. Mr. Bobby Butler, how are you, my friend?
Hello, hello. How are we?
Right, let's get this posted. Commentator stream. Bang. Oops, sorry.
A nice full grid as well. Looks like 18 in.
I know, this is a lovely little grid. So let's take a little recap of last week's race. I think most people are going to remember it because obviously we had, I wouldn't say a shock win. We knew that it had to come at some point. But, sorry, Mr. Cookie did manage to get a win in the bag last time round. He'll be hoping to keep up that decent result again. It was a pretty strong victory from him in the end, with our Henson rounding in P2 and Hazard came in P3. So whether these boys will be able to keep it up once again, I don't know. We're now going to France. It's a very interesting track, to say the least.
Interesting indeed.
And you're either really good at it or terrible. And there's
Yeah,
not really that much of an in between. I'm on the terrible side. I'm so slow at
I'm
France.
certainly on the terrible side. I'm a 20-second penalty collector at France usually, unfortunately.
Well,
The track
I've,
limits just absolutely kill me.
yeah, that's a massive thing that I think we're gonna have to look out for today is track limits because yeah, they're ridiculous out here. And
So
another
easy
thing,
to use too much carb.
oh god, yeah, the curbs are absolutely massive and it's just ever so slightly too far on them, and no, invalid. 3 second penalty. One thing I have heard though is that Hazard is particularly strong on this track in comparison to all of his others. He came
Okay.
P3 last time round, so whether we could see a very strong qualifying from him, possibly even in with a shout of the race win. J Horse didn't have a very good wet race, so he'll be hoping for it to be dry once again. Yes, he's leading the drivers' standings by uh, 8 points at the moment, with Aero Blake just behind him. But he'll be hoping to lengthen that gap out. Aero Blake will be hoping to tighten it up a little bit. But it is, what is that? Is that an Alfa Romeo? No, it's a Williams that's first out.
There's quite a few actually. They're making their way out by the looks of it.
Yeah, by the looks of it, they've all left at
Four
the
or five.
exact same time.
Gives me a chance to sort out the track map, etc. on the screen for me.
Yeah, that is exactly what I've just done as well. Watching on board.
I know, Rick obviously from the Monday League that I'm racing in as well. He's rapid. He's always up the top, up the front, and I think Lifebout was in there as well, and he was quite high up. He may have been first or second on Monday night. So
Yeah, so Rick in this championship is currently P3. Just 13 points off of the lead of the championship, and is in 2 points ahead of P4. So it is actually surprisingly close up at the top.
right.
Before then quite drastically dropping off just after that. Mr. Cookie with quite a big deficit after, down in P5. But up at the top, it is still, the championship is pretty much open to about 4 people at the moment, with only about 15 points between them. So it is looking for a pretty good end of this season. It's obviously round 8 right now. We've got another 5 rounds to the end of the championship, I want to say. So we've still got plenty of time for a couple of little shocks, which is obviously what we would want. Always want a bit of action. And speaking of action, action is just about to get underway. Quick Killers has now started the first flying lap of the qualifying of the day.
Yeah, a few going very slowly in Sector 3, just getting off their, trying to get some space for their hot laps. Never pay too much attention to yellow flags during qualifying, and you'll be all over the place.
No, oh god, yeah, you'd be so slow. So many people, especially around what will probably be... I can imagine Sector 2 being quite yellow flagged along that back straight, but I think Sector 3 as well. Lots of corners you can cut on your in-laps and out-laps to make sure that you get nice quick, get back into the pit lane, get your tyres swapped round nice and quickly.
Just, yeah, stay out of the way, especially.
And it massively reduces the wear ready for the race, so that set of softs has just got that sort of 2% less wear. It could make an absolutely massive difference in some people's races.
I was very happy on Monday at Silverstone with a P5. First time I've managed to be racing for a few weeks. Just other things going on Mondays, unfortunately. So I was quite happy to get P5 and get around without causing any trouble. Here we go, quick killers.
Going to cross the line now. First time on the board, 135 dead. Next across the line will be, I'm pretty certain, it is Joachim in the Red Bull. Let's see what he can do. Running down the back straight now. He's got a McLaren right behind him. I don't know whether that is
132.0 just in front.
It's very close. Blair not putting in a time quite as close as anyone else.
Another
driver, it's an Alpha Tauri. Oh no, it's not. It's Aston Martin.
Oh, Hazard 131.
So yeah, really setting the tone.
Second quicker for Hazard.
So that just shows you he knows what he wants from this race, and he wants a decent position, putting himself a second pretty much faster than anyone else at the moment.
Everybody else in the 132s. Oh, Jimmy Jags has won 131.9.
That's a very strong result for Jimmy Jags. Absolute flying start for him. Okay, maybe
Aston
not.
Martin 1-2 at the moment.
Yep. Chaz coming in. That is a decent time for Chaz. Half a second off the leader, but he'll be pretty happy with that at the moment. Decent little banker lap.
I think the McLarens were strong last time I joined you on commentary.
Yeah, and the McLarens did do quite a good job last time round. It was a shame that I'm pretty sure it was Chaz that just kept on going and going and going, and I think he picked up a puncture right at the very end. So that pretty much knocked him out of it, but Aero Blake did very well to make up for it, to say the least. J Horse right now on a pretty good flying lap. He has set a purple Sector 1 and Sector 2, now running into the start of Sector 3. Still got that yellow tint Ferrari.
Lovely.
It is. It's
lovely,
an absolutely beautiful livery. I've got to say they did nail it. And it'd be nice. We didn't have a Ferrari on the podium last time round, which is a first time in quite a few races actually. Pretty much due to J Horse not having the best of races. Corner. Coming round, DRS wide open as come across the line. It's quite far back down the order. He has gone top, and it is once again the Scuderia Ferrari showing its true pace. J Horse back into a bit of dry familiarity. He is absolutely loving it. 0.3 faster than anyone else at the moment. That is about normal, especially at this point in qualifying. Whether Rick will have anything to say about that. Mr. Cookie's also a pretty strong qualifier, so we'll see how he gets on. We're watching on board with Severe Scott in the Alpine. He's coming around the last corner now. DRS are wide open. This is his flying lap, so we should get a time on him. He is going to put himself...
I think he was in on Monday as well.
So, I think that's just a pretty... I think that's a bog standard banker lap, isn't it? It's just another... I think that's just another lap to get the tyres warmed up, perhaps. He might be going again, I'm not too sure. Either way, something didn't quite go right that lap.
Never fear, Andy's here in the high 32s with his first, I think second attempt. 32.7. That's him guys out on track, I think.
Yeah, Yep, he's out on a flyer at the moment, heading down at the back straight, DRS wide open, into the chicane he goes, that bright purple helmet.
He's got an Alpine he's coming up to. Is it also on a flyer maybe, or I'm not sure. Oh, he's spun.
He's binned it. It was a pretty decent lap as well, and he's just pushed it that little bit too far. Surprised to say the least.
Cut across back into the pits.
Yeah, he could just about make it round without getting disqualified, so he'll be happy with that. Mr. Cookie just starting his lap now, so we'll check back in about a minute and a half's time with him, see how he's getting on. Smithy also out on a lap. He's now running down the back straight, as well as Armand Plays, who is deep into sector 3 but invalidated, so he'll be going round. He is going round for another lap.
Here comes BGR, and he has got a 133.5 with 11.
So yeah,
the Red Bull.
Not the most ideal start for SX Ferry, but he'll be.
And I think he's now red flag. He's now
he has invalidated
his next lap. Yeah, easily done on that first corner.
And Mr. Cookie has also invalidated his lap, so he'll have to wait for another run before he can get a lap in. Pretty common for Mr. Cookie to get an invalidated lap. He's a very quick qualifier, but he does have a tendency to push the limits a little bit.
Push it, yeah.
But he won't mind. He's still got 8 minutes.
132.0 for Smithy. He's in 7th.
It's a strong little lap for Smithy there, as he's just managed to get himself in front of what's that? That's Calf Jack, I believe. No, it's not. It's
a couple of people
that Sim guy that's just coming out. Yeah. So that Sim guy's back out again, and I think that's also Rick. So Rick and that Sim guy together on track, both on out laps. You can see that Sim guy just being waved through there.
Mr. Cookie would have been 3rd on that lap that he invalidated. On 31.3.
Interesting that he still decided to push on it.
I'm not sure now whether he seems to be pushing on this lap. Whether he's he's invalidated again.
Has he done it again? Has he? Right, that'll be time for a new set of tyres, and he'll have one good shot at doing it.
I think Lifebout's now on his first lap, and he's invalidated.
Ideal start. I think it is. It's so common.
Oh, no, he spun it as well. There. He's had a little spin as well there.
So Rick has really widened the gap between him and that Sim guy. About 2 corners of a gap it is now. It was right
I think
next to each other.
He may have cut a corner to create that gap, because he's also got an invalidate on him.
Yeah. Not only that, he was pretty much waving himself up and down, or well, side to side, down the straight.
Space. Even on a quite long lap like this, it's becoming difficult to find space to have a bit of a gap. Here we go then. Rick starts his lap. Aston Martin dives right out of the way. Excellent.
So it's a purple sector 1 for that Sim guy, so he clearly must be pretty confident here at France, with sector 1 and sector 3 definitely being the 2 more challenging of the sectors. However, I'm pretty certain it is sector 3 where it is a make or break for the lap. He's just round through the chicane and now running up into sector 3. He's gone and set the fastest sector 2 as well, so we could be looking at a provisional pole time here. Rick just behind. Let's see whether he can improve on that purple sector 2. No, he doesn't, so he could possibly be slower. But still the most tight and challenging sector to get absolutely nailed perfectly. Waving through the second to last corner, keeps it to the inside to then rock to the outside. Final corner, pretty good acceleration. Hammers on the DRS. He's going to come across the line. He is going to go provisional pole. He is only just, but provisional pole nevertheless. That's Sim Guy. And then immediately beaten by J Horse, considerably as well.
Goes fourth.
And yeah, that is a pretty solid time for Rick as well. As you can see, that Sim Guy completely cutting out Sector 1. Just taking it like a no-rules lobby of France, which I think is what pretty much most people are doing.
As long as they're not interrupting anybody else's hot laps, I think that's
and exactly what they can do is if they're on
a lot of runoff area in France to get out of the way,
then if something does go wrong and they are about to cut in front of someone's lap, they just hammer the brakes. They've got about 300 meters to stop. You know, they haven't got really that much of a problem.
Yeah, nice and easy to get out of the way.
So pretty much most people either in the pits, out laps or in laps. No flyers at the moment. I think everyone is setting up for that last qualifying lap. It is 4 minutes really to go.
Hazard is on a fast lap, I think. I saw a flash of purple.
Oh yes, Mr. Cookie does look to be on a flyer, doesn't he? He's going to round the last corner, straightens it up. It is quite a tight start-finish straight. He is going to come across. Mr. Cookie.
His first sector was quite fast.
Why? Oh, was that an outlap? That
1.3 it said. It must have been the red lap.
Yeah,
must have been another invalidation. I think that's 3 now. But he's purple in the first sector. So he may have bailed that lap early and saved the battery for this one.
Yeah, it must have been. So either way, top 7 all in the pits at the moment. Another notable thing, Jimmy Jags is in the points at the moment.
Mr. Cookie and Lifebout yet to set a lap. We saw Lifebout have a little spin earlier on.
Yeah, and not leaving now, but a lot of people are. That Sim Guy out on track with Arm and Plays and Quick Killers. Calf Jack, Scotty and Pirani's here, all on outlaps at the moment. Probably won't be long until J Horse, Hazard and Rick start getting them going.
Let's have a look.
Let's see what time he sets. It is a solid time. That puts him P3.
Third place.
Hazard just under 1/10 of a second to catch up to him, but Rick considerably far off of Mr. Cookie, so Mr. Cookie might be able to hold on to a top 5 position here, because I don't think he's going to be able to.
7.
Yeah, decent lap from him. He might still be able to hold the top 5. However, I don't think he's going to be able to get around in time for another lap. No, he's not. So Mr. Cookie's qualifying is done there. He now just has to hope that the other drivers around him don't improve. However, I don't really think that that's all that common for drivers not to improve, especially on the last lap. They do have a bit of a tendency to hurry up, as most people are now getting underway for their flying laps. Armor Play is coming across. He's about to set his time. Is it going to be improvements? No, it's not. For some reason it wasn't registered. I think there might have been an outlap that it just wasn't telling me. So now, only one person on an outlap.
On track.
Everyone's out on track. Only one person's on an outlap. Okay, there's a couple of in-laps, but
is he going to make it round?
Lots of flyers.
Scott, where is he?
I think so, you know. He's got 25
20
seconds.
seconds.
Oh, it's going to be close,
rounding.
you know.
It is going to be close. He's just coming towards the pit entrance now. I'll keep an eye on that.
Either way, Rick's about to come across the line. And once again,
here he goes, 8, 7, 6, 5. I think he's just going to make it.
He's not made it.
He didn't make it. He's not made it. And he will start P17.
He's not
He's
made
got a checkered flag.
Oh, that is such
it.
a shame. Oh, he'll be absolutely raging with himself.
Scotty up to 11th for 132.0.
That Sim guy
Two
up
Scots
on his time.
Alpines.
And oh, that's a spin. That's that Sim guy that's spun round. So that's his qualifying done. J Horse also running round. He is up on his time at the moment. Mr. Cookie, by the looks of it, kind of pushing, but yet he's on an invalidated lap. Hazard also going round. He has improved, but it's not by an awful lot. He's going to have to improve some more in Sector 3 if he wants to get up into the top 3. Armour Plays comes across the line. He takes P5, but Rick up 0.3 of a second right now. Currently slotting him in P3. So he's on an absolute corker of a lap at the moment. We'll check back in him in just a second's time. J Horse round further back. However, he's coming into the pit lane. He invalidated his lap. That's his qualifying over. Lifebout has managed to put in an absolute... What? That is a corker of a lap to start.
It's his only lap.
A single lap. He's put it nice and high. Hazard. He's
Rick
up on his time. Rick, moves up. Hazard all done. He'll start P6. And that is qualifying done. So, I mean, I can't say that that's quite what I was expecting it to be. I mean, Lifebout was really just showed up.
Standards very, very high. 5 beating the 131 mark.
And if I'm correct in saying, Lifebout is reserved. Because I'm pretty sure, he's using our Henson seat. I'm pretty certain he's in our Henson seat today, and he has gone and put that lap in.
Definitely rapid.
Pre-race check.
J Horse takes pole.
He is. Lifebout is. He's filling in today for our Henson seat. Either way, J Horse once again has managed to put it on pole. And a surprise Lifebout second place. That's him, guy, coming back after a little while. He's now in P3. Rick in P4. Mr. Cookie P5. Hazard P6. Armour Plays P7. Chas Night Rider and Quick Killers and Joachim round out the top 10. With Jimmy Jags in P11. Just missing out there. Scotty P12. Smithy P13. Calf Jack P14. Blair P15. Essex Perry P16. Never Fear Andy's here P17. And Severe Scott in P18. Rounds out the list. And it's a very close qualifying. What's that? Pretty much top sort of 8, all within a second. That's pretty good going.
Yeah, top 5 all broke 131.
Yeah,
so
especially for
very
France.
Good going.
I am really interested to see how this race gets on now.
Big mistake there from Severe Scott, ending up at the back of the grid by not getting his last flying lap underway.
Yeah. Oh.
When we have rain.
Oh, that's changed the ballpark, hasn't it?
That has definitely thrown.
And it's not just any rain. That is blue wall tyres rain.
Blue tyre rain.
That's not just Inter's rain. That is rain. Oh, the chat is going to be going mental.
This could be, with the length of the race, one of those wet to Inter to dry races. Or it could just stay wet throughout.
Yeah, so that's what happened at Silverstone. It was full wets to start the race, and then I'm going to say for the last half of the race, it was you can either have full wets or inters. They're going to be the same speed, and yeah, it was just the rain was falling.
I'm looking for someone to gamble. Formation lap. Now they fixed the glitch. I'm looking for a gamble. Last 5 laps, someone who's not very high up, going on down on dry tyres to see if it works.
So unsurprisingly, wets across the board from absolutely everyone. Other than that, we'll leave it on position changes for now. So, J-Horse didn't do very well at Silverstone, and he's also now, well, I'm not going to repeat it on stream, but he said that he's pretty much finished for this race, and he's not particularly happy.
Still marvelling at the Ferrari livery. Brilliant.
A lot of people are saying that this is almost exactly like Silverstone with the weather forecast, which could mean that we get a nice rain race again. No DRS for 2 weeks running, it could possibly be. But you never know, weather can always change. So, quickly checking the pre-race comments. The first pre-race comment that was posted at 10 o'clock this morning from Never Fear Andy's here was, "Just hope it stays dry." I think that is the single most ironic comment I have ever seen in my life. Rick loves France, apparently.
Strangely enough, I was in France couple of weeks ago on my way back from the Netherlands, and it was raining like this.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so French customs got everybody off the coach. In Calais, it was not very welcomed.
Well, a lot of people that were talking in the pre-race comments were pretty much saying how much they dislike France. So we could, I'm pretty certain we're going to see some penalties. Just in an attempt to warm up the tyres, and he's parked that pretty well actually. Pretty decent, ever so slight little tilt heading towards turn 1.
The only one I've not quite got the hang of yet is the old parking on the grid.
Yeah, walk back, I'm pretty certain we've got Severe Scott just lining up.
Only 3 disqualified.
That's pretty decent going.
That's impressive.
And we now run to 5 red lights. Let's get this underway. It's a pretty strong start for J-Horse, though really revving his front engine out. Rear wheels. And
that's maybe losing second here.
And big bout in the middle. Massive bout, and Hazard might be able to sneak one up the inside. Doesn't. Gets denied by the 2 Alfa Romeos. Rick up into P4, so that's exactly where he started with Mr. Cookie right behind him. Hazard still putting on a lot of pressure though from the back of the grid, and the Alpine just hanging on wide there. Heading in, he's going to take a Chaz Knight Rider by the looks of it, who gets quite wide on the edge there. But at the front of the track, it has remained the same. I mean, there hasn't been movement all the way down until P8, where it is carnage. And oh, that's a car sliding around. And oh, there's a car that's gone round. That's Joachim spinning around in circles. That is our first victim of the wet weather today.
Andy's had a struggle as well, I think. Having an incident. Lifeboat's already.
And oh, big crash. That is Severe Scott out. Yeah, watch that. That was, yeah, he just got absolutely bumper clarted into the side. And it is a virtual safety car. Everyone's
slowing down very much for Delta, I think.
Yeah, that's probably the main reason. Massive Delta problems. Pretty much everyone was on the back straight there as well.
5 seconds.
For ignoring the yellow flags.
Oh,
you can't. And
RJ Blair crashed into Smithy.
Oh, right.
The 2 of them were involved in the original accident.
I'm pretty certain they were, you know.
Yeah, I believe they crashed under safety car afterwards. I saw some pieces flying from somewhere else, but they appear to be okay. Not sure. Is everyone going to pit? Is it only virtual or is it full safety?
It's only virtual safety car, and I'm pretty certain Joachim has picked up a drive-through. Oh, that is the last thing you want.
And we're green light racing, and
we're back underway again pretty quickly. Jimmy Jag's coming in. That must be for repairs, surely.
Yeah.
I can't particularly see him needing anything.
Maybe that's to serve his
That'll be to serve the
his
drive through.
straight away, or is he
Whilst it's still
stopping?
nice and close, I think it's probably logical.
Yeah, he's gone past Jimmy Jag, so it's just his drive through.
Already, I mean,
still leads.
it's quite close, all up in the middle,
Second.
but not a lot of overtaking particularly taking place. It's really difficult to overtake in the wet, let alone then when you take it to here at France.
Yeah.
Predicted pit stop strategy is still calling just wet, but then again that doesn't understand what the weather means, so that could be completely open to change. Mr.
Jack
Cookie
has got past RJ Blair there.
Oh, pretty decent. Mr. Cookie's still hanging right onto the back of his teammate. These two are practically inseparable. But just as they run up there, Mr. Cookie clearly showing that he's got much more of a corner-based setup, as he just drops about half a second down that straight.
Yeah, Hazard's right on his gearbox as well. Got to feel sorry for Severe Scott. I think after starting last, he'd made up a few places at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, he managed to get himself quite reasonably close to the points, actually.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a marathon, not a sprint on these
it really
races.
Is 27 laps.
From the back. Avoiding carnage from the back is often the best policy, as J-Horse sets the fastest lap.
Absolutely, and I mean, he did manage it for some time. It was just a shame that he just couldn't quite hold on to it for particularly long. He managed to get himself up so many places by just capitalising on mistakes, but unfortunately couldn't quite hold out for anything more than 2 laps. But it is still quite close to the front, just with a lack of moves being made.
Like the DRS chain without the DRS, isn't it?
It is, it really is, and that's the problem with the wet weather racing, is that similar to the DRS, because there is no DRS, the cars can't really pass. They can't get enough speed on each other to get a move done. As you see that Williams there, Quick Killers,
he's having a look.
He had a look,
two Alphas in front.
It's as simple as you just can't get the pace. Although, say that, Chaz Knight Rider as Scotty is having a nice little bout between the two.
He's gone past Scotty, Smithy's looking on, they're side by side.
Oh, and this is going to be an interesting corner. Who's got the bigger guts going around this? They're going to continue. He managed to hold it.
Scotty might say thank you very much here, and he does.
Smithy has capitalised this
and takes Scotty.
That's a great capitalisation from Smithy there. He's just waited until one of them would make a mistake. He's gone past one of them. He's only got to deal really with Chaz now. That move was easy as pie. Scotty clearly struggling a little bit to keep up, as he's just practically drifting around this corner. So he'll need to get his tyres back into a working position again.
Now with the fastest lap.
So clearly he's not pulling too far, but I have a feeling that Lifeboat might be ever so slightly holding up that Sim guy here. Obviously he's just going to set the fastest lap, but with an inability to pass would make it difficult to get onto the back of J-Horse if Lifeboat continues to lose time to J-Horse. Either way though, it is still only 2 seconds between first and third, so it's not like it's particularly long.
And Jack's now right caught up to Scotty as well. Scotty struggling in the conditions, and Mr. Cookie makes a move on Rick.
He has, he's managed to get past. Rick don't want it though. He's going to go up the inside of the chicane. He's going to have the inside for the first corner. Doesn't get it for the second. Loses that position again. Now has got to deal with Hazard and Quick Killers, who's right behind. Though he does get the better exit of the 3 of them. And it's going to be now Hazard that's got the problem, because Quick Killers is going to run up the inside here at this right-hander. They've both got the pace and they've both got the willingness. They've gone past once again side by side. But the inside of the corner will go to Quick Killers again. He does just about manage to hold the line, but good traction from Hazard, but he doesn't quite get it right on the very exit of the corner. That gives Quick Killers the place.
RJ Blair has just dropped 2 places to BGR and Never Fear Andy's here.
Well, it is getting pretty tight up here at the top now, between sort of Mr. Cookie all the way down to sort of Arman, really.
Arman Plays has caught right up onto them now, yeah.
Yeah, he's just had that bit of time.
Woke him up and set a fastest lap. We were saying he
beginning
was
to claw back again.
Dry.
Although, is it me or is this rain easing off?
It could well be.
I have a feeling it is, you know. It doesn't seem anywhere near as heavy as it was to start this race. Yeah, it's still raining, but I don't think it's quite as heavy. I don't think it might go on for a little bit longer that people stick to the wets, but if it continues like this,
it could well be inters.
I think it might be switching to inters weather soon, which could explain.
Getting a run, is he on Rick? He is.
He's going to have it.
Made the move.
However,
and Hazard fancies a bit as well, and Rick's coming back at
Rick's going to go back. It's too early on the straight to guarantee that move, but once again,
contact.
Same move made.
Contact.
Mr. Cookie has just had. Rick's just had it
but they're still
twice.
Going.
Same things happened twice to him, so he's now going to have to claw back all this time.
They're still going with Hazard and Arman Plays. I think Hazard may have made contact with Rick.
Yeah, just backing off a little bit. Rick now, I guess, secured his position for a moment, but he's going to now want to work on catching up to the back of these two cars again. Possibly get him on the back of Quick Killers, but something to be noted. Heading down into that chicane in the middle of Sector 2. Well, it's actually towards the end of the Sector 2.
Picks up a penalty.
Stick to the outside of that first corner because it's quite clear that two cars aren't going into that chicane very well. So I think that might be a lesson learnt for a couple of these drivers. Maybe a couple moves that won't be made because they don't dare go to the inside. Because I think that's what happened with Scotty, with Severe Scott as well. Just to keep in mind.
There with Rick again, but he seems to have got a little bit more of a gap.
It's beginning to claw back in, isn't it? But this has given Mr. Cookie a lovely little opportunity to break from them. He's now 8 tenths above Quick Killers, though Quick Killers is beginning to draw it back in.
Hazard on the outside.
Hazard is giving Rick
Hazard is all
no
over
brakes.
No breathing space.
What is Rick going to do here? He's switched to the inside. He's now going to hold the outside line. This could be bad for Hazard if he's not able to get himself in early. No, he doesn't. He does get slowed down because of that. Don't think it's going to be enough for Arman to... No, it's not going to be enough for Arman to get him in.
Scotty and Jack going in the chicane together as well. And Scotty stays in front. But Jack will follow him all the way.
Quick Killers has been an absolute momentous lap. This lap, he's now just a quarter of a second behind Mr. Cookie for the fight for P4.
He's pulled out 1.5 seconds on Rick, who's had to defend as well. And he's got Mr. Cookie, or has he? They're side by side.
They are going side by side. Jimmy Jags picking up a 3 second time penalty. Quick Killers and in goes Mr. Cookie. So, first man to come
right
into the pit lane.
Joe Hawes and Matt Singer are trading fastest laps.
Which could indicate a drying track.
Indeed. And no, that's just people going past Mr.
Cookie.
In the pits.
Yes, he's switching to the green walled intermediates.
He's going into us. He's dropped right down to 13, 14. 15th. But here we go. Let's have a look at him for the next few laps and see
whether switching those tyres is going to give much of a pace advantage. One thing it doesn't do is give you a tyre life advantage. The intermediates do wear faster than the wets, just to keep that in mind, especially in changeable conditions like this where you're not too sure. Arman going to go up the inside of Hazard here for P6. He does get the line, but he's not going to get the line for the second one. They are going to now have it's going to be a drag race.
He's got the move done.
Hazard does get it done. I think Armin there just had to let off a little bit because of that.
And Jack has got Scotty back again. Good midfield fight, and Scotty's coming back for him. He's got a penalty because I think he jumped the corner. And he's going to have to let that one go, I think. That was what got Scotty a penalty there. Never Fear Andy's here is right on the back of BGR.
And in comes Quick Killers, Rick and Hazard. So clearly all of those believe that it is now intermediate weather. J-Horse goes and sets fastest lap. I think possibly that sim guy went and improved it again. No, he didn't. But it was another fastest lap for J-Horse that lap round.
Up to 5th because of all these pit stops.
Mr. Cookie is about to come round. He's the first man on intermediates. Let's see how he's going to get on. He's going to jump up quite a lot of positions here. As he heads down the main straight, you can just see him jumping up.
And Quick Killers. He's undercut everybody.
Yeah, it's a massive undercut. It's an absolutely brilliant little move from him there. Quick Killers, considerable time back.
Yeah, he was battling Hazard, and now he's jumped all three of them.
About a second, yeah, about a second to Mr. Cookie. So, good move from Mr. Cookie there. Whether he now has the pace to...
That sim guy's got a penalty as well. Mr. Cookie's gone purple a whole half a second quicker.
And that
is Never Fear Andy's here with Spun.
Has spun
I just saw that in the background.
Yep, back into green flag racing now, heading down the main, or the back straight.
He was up with the front runners as they were because of pit stops.
Yeah, Mr. Cookie went and set the fastest purple sector 3, sorry, last time round. He's
Sector 2 minus 1.4. He's flying.
Which would pretty much bring him up quite close to fastest lap. Whether it would be fastest lap as a whole. J-Horse and Knifebout also in. That same guy deciding to go for an extra lap. He's going to try the overcut.
Here we go. I'm keeping an eye on Mr. Cookie because I think he might get the J-Horse here. Has Lifebout pitted also?
A little bit too far back, you know, but it is possible. It might not bring him
Armin Plays goes through for another lap.
No, J-Horse already leaving the pit lane. Mr. Cookie currently heading down it. J-Horse does get in front considerably, but Mr. Cookie moves up into P6.
Fastest lap,
and the fastest lap.
He's up to P6. Of course, the two Hasses have still got a pit, and that's in by also. Plus, of course, penalties ahead. Only J-Horse of the ones who are pitted in front of Mr. Cookie has got no penalties. Lifebout and that same guy penalties. Mr. Cookie says another purple first sector.
So Mr. Cookie clearly showing that those inters are the much faster tyre at the moment. Unsurprisingly, as everyone has pretty much gone onto it now, other than 4 drivers. That same guy is obviously attempting the overcut, so he'll
Lifebout has got another penalty.
Yeah, that's not going to do him sort of any favours for him getting a decent result out of this race. However, he will still continue to push. Gaff Jack getting in front of Essex Perry there. You can just see on the timing screen. Is now all down to, is that sim guy going to pit now? No, he's not. He's going to go for another lap on the wet tyres. He's obviously confident.
Backed right in. Oh, it was nearly contact. It was nearly contact. And Lifebout had to bail out of it and cut right off the track. J-Horse has been backed right into Lifebout, but being held up by Smithy, who hasn't pitted yet.
And even more so, Smithy's going for another lap, so it's going to be
staying out.
Whether J-Horse can get in front, he is going to get him.
And
is Lifebout going to do
the
same?
Well.
Obviously, he's going to try it, but will he make it or not? That's the important question. Lifebout isn't going to be able to get past this time round.
Armin Plays is in the pits, so just Smithy and that sim guy left to pit.
And Never Fear Andy's here. He's still on the same laps, same tyres he started on.
Yes. But and Lifebout gets the move done.
Yep, he is
Smithy.
now through. So it wasn't a massive hold-up, which is obviously not what that Sim guy wanted. Especially considering the fact J-Horse is 0.8 up on his fastest time in Sector 1 alone. So
the rain is pretty much almost stopped.
Yeah, I mean it is. The rain is still coming, but it's very light. It is light rain. The clouds are still hanging overhead, and there is no blue sky.
That guy's only got 16.5 seconds. I don't think he's going to be coming out.
He's not going to come out in front. It's 1 point. So it's going to come out around Rick, I think. That's a bit of a push, considering the fact that gap to leader is going to be about 22 seconds there. Smithy then dropping down another couple of positions. And big contact. Quick Killers and Mr. Cookie having a nice little slip around. And that's going to lose them a lot of positions.
Inside of Quick Killers, who's off the track.
Mr. Cookie managed to hold it on Hazard.
As Hazard and Mr. Cookie. Smithy's got a time penalty amongst all of it.
And that Sim guy has gone around for another lap and clearly struggling a little bit. These tyres just not being his favourite.
Yeah, that must be damage for Quick Killers. He's
definitely damage related.
After hitting Mr. Cookie. They're 4 wide almost going up to the first corner. Smithy's caught right in amongst this, having not stopped and still on the wet tyres, and I think everybody's going to now go past him.
He'll be absolutely bricking it right now because these are drivers that are fighting for solid positions. And Quick Killers has pitted for a fresh set of soft tyres. I have no idea whether that's intentional or not, but he's on the softs.
He pitted for damage, so whether it's now taking a gamble...
And he's now spun it round. He did make contact with Essex Perry. But he's made a gamble, and he'll be hoping that it'll pay off. But with a little spin from Essex Perry there, that doesn't set him in the best stead to start this lap, as the only man on slick tyres. So, how long is this? I will say though, these clouds do look like they're lightening up. These clouds are lightening up, I'm pretty sure. They don't look quite as dark as they were 2 minutes ago.
Despite a load of pit stops and everything else, now it's Rick and Mr. Cookie back on each other's. They're like they're glued together.
Yeah, these two, they're practically inseparable sometimes. The two Alfa Romeos, they do quite often run side by side.
And Hazard just behind as well. J-Horse is now only 7 seconds behind that Sim guy. I think that Sim guy's strategy is going to let him down here.
What that Sim guy has been betting on is the rain to just stop completely, so he skips that intermediate and goes straight to the slick.
Goes straight to mediums, perhaps.
But Quick Killers is struggling on the softs.
Smithy finally pits. Smithy's finally pitted.
So it's now just Never Fear Andy's here, and that Sim guy to not
Andy's
hit.
going for another lap. He's still going as well.
So yep, 2 drivers to go. Lifebout setting the fastest sector 1 time, though getting very wiggly on the exit onto the back straight. And it is still these 3 drivers. Yeah.
Right, 3 of them right close together.
Rick to Hazard. These 3 are being pretty relentless, though not. I don't think they're going to make a
midfield also. And Scotty's got another time penalty. Jack's putting the pressure on him as Jimmy Jags has taken RJ Blair, and Quick Killers is DNF'd.
What on earth has happened there? He's gone into a fresh set of medium tyres. I don't think that was particularly intentional, but he has DNF'd out of it. Smithy as well, he pitted and he went onto a set of hards.
And a 10-second penalty for Never Fear Andy's here.
He must have had an absolutely mega corner cut to get 10 seconds.
I think Quick Killers may have DNF'd in the pit lane. Or is he prostrate on the straight? Let's see. We've got a yellow. Oh no, he is. He's on the main straight. He's on the front straight. He's on the I've just seen the leaders go past. He's Now he's disappeared and we're green flag. We're okay.
Oh, that's surprising. I
As
thought he
that
decided
Sim guy
to pit lane.
is now overtaken for the lead by J-Horse.
And while
Where is
doing
he?
so,
Contact!
Hazard.
Contact and he's round. He
Oh,
tried to
that
stick
just
it
makes
up
his
the
day
inside there.
from bad to worse. While saying that occurred, Hazard got himself past Mr. Cookie. So it is now an Alfa Romeo sandwich for the Aston.
And Mr. Cookie's got a 3-second penalty as well. That's new. Wasn't there before. They're all now right catching up to that Sim guy, and Rick is going to make the move on him.
He's going to be the first man
Hazard's
past. Hazard's going to
both.
go as well. I don't think he's going to make a move past Rick, but he is going to get past that Sim guy. Mr. Cookie has now got a lot of work to do. He's got to try and get past that Sim guy. That has lost him some time, but at the same time, Hazard's going past.
Or has he?
It's a drag race.
As they go in.
Who's going to come round? It's going to be Rick, but he's left. It's a disconnect for Rick. Oh, that is heartbreaking for him.
Yeah,
clearly not intentional, but just dropping the places. It's now. Oh, and that Sim guy also spinning himself right round.
Oh, that Sim guy spun again.
If you want to just press pause and then it's in invites and requests, just make sure that he's got one.
Invites.
Yeah, Rick. I mean, he's just about holding on to the back.
Rick. Yeah, I've sent another invite to Rick, so he should get that. That Sim guy is into the pits finally. After
that doesn't surprise me. However, notably, there is no rain. I've been looking. My eyes, if they're not deceiving me, I can't see raindrops. It has stopped raining. That Sim guy
comes out in 11th.
He's gone for intermediates.
Oh,
interesting move considering the fact that the rain has stopped.
But Quick Killers tried the dry tyres, whether he meant to or not, and got taken arm and making a move on Chaz Knight Rider. And
they're bowing it out massively.
Rick
Jimmy Jags has gone onto the medium tyres. Could this be a Jimmy Jags tactical masterclass?
12 seconds of penalties he's got already, though.
Well, that's
back in the room.
Well, that is Jimmy Jags for you, but we move.
As I say, I'm a 20-second penalty plus person on this track, on the dry, so I'm saying nothing else with regards to penalty collection. But interesting to keep an eye on his times, though, Jimmy Jags. Now he's on the dry tyre.
J-Horse setting a faster time. Lifebout nearly a second faster than he has before. It's pitting for Hazard, Cookie and Chaz. All coming into the pits. All will be dry tyres. They're all a fresh set of mediums for Hazard. Mr. Cookie, mediums as well. It's mediums for the three of them. They're all going to come out. This could have been the biggest mistake from that Sim guy, because had he come in just a single lap earlier, he might have jumped all of these people. But if he comes in now, which he's not going to do, surprisingly, he could have possibly jumped a couple more people. But nevertheless, that Sim guy is staying out. Jimmy Jags coming. Oh no, that's Blair coming in. Never fear, Andy's here. Still on these wet tyres. Don't know what's going through his head, but he's still on wet tyres and people are on slicks. No, he hasn't pitted yet. No, never fear, Andy. Still running.
It could work.
It might just get him some position.
Lifebout is now really putting pressure on J-Horse as that Sim guy picks up another penalty. And he makes the move, does he?
He's gone for a little dive. He's just forcing him wide. He just forced J-Horse to run a wide line there, but he couldn't quite get the.
Couldn't make it stick. But they're fighting. No. They are fighting, and they're both following each other into the pits. So how far back is Rick? And is Rick going to be pitting as well? Rick 15 seconds behind them.
I can't see Rick not pitting. Yes, he is. So does Armand. So everyone electing but this
Hazard
is now the time
is the
for
one who's
slicks.
already pitted, and now where's he going to come out?
He's
Where
still
are they
got.
going to come out with?
Oh no, he's
compared
still
to
got
him?
quite a few corners to go. I can't see him gaining that many positions on them at all. I think
They're
Rick's
already
still going to come
moving.
out in front. It might be
Mr.
close
Cookie
actually.
right
Rick
behind.
might just be able to manage. I think Rick might just get in front of them. You know, it'll be tight.
Lifeboat's in the lead. Lifeboat's jumped him in the pits.
Has he really? He
And
has
Hazard
as well.
is ahead of Rick. Hazard and Mr. Cookie are ahead of Rick.
Oh,
And
so
another penalty for that some guy.
Oh, speeding in the pit lane. That's one of the worst ones to get. Never fear, Andy's here. Finally coming into the pit lane. I think that's the most important thing. And it is going to just be a medium run to the end now, isn't it? It's quite difficult to get a DNF out on this track. I know we had one lap 2.
Lifeboat weaving on the straight to warm his tyres.
Yeah, J-Horse just doing the same as well.
DRS now enabled.
We've got DRS again. It has only taken a race and a half to get DRS back, but DRS is back in the race. The drivers will be happy.
I'm not quite sure what happened with the pit stops, but Lifeboat managed to jump J-Horse.
It might have just been
each other
traffic.
into the pits.
It could literally be
Could
traffic in the pit lane.
It
could be the turn-in.
Could
it could be
the
traffic in the pit lane.
Yeah.
Genuinely, it could be anything. As Armin is right on the back of Rick. I think the pace is just massively increased out here. I think a lot of people are a lot more confident
right
on this track now.
And J-Horse is closing in on Lifeboat in front. Of course, he's the
now
net
open
leader because
DRS.
of penalties. He's the net leader anyway because of penalties.
And now with the help of DRS, that just closes the gap a little bit more. Same will go for Mr. Cookie. He will just close the gap down. Whether he'll be able to make a move, he does at the fastest lap.
With the fastest lap. And now gets the overtake.
Unsurprisingly. Hazard though will probably hold on. He's got a nice long back straight coming up with a nice long DRS zone to bring that position back to the Aston Martins. So that is the fight for the podium at the moment. Currently a lot more intense than the fight for the lead. That's still half a second between them. And I can't see him. No, he hasn't made a move. Running down the back straight.
I think J-Horse knows he doesn't need to make a move with the 6 seconds of penalties.
So
got a yellow in sector 1, and that's
Cap Jack. Yeah, that's Cap Jack.
Jack spun. Yeah, and then he took his teammate out. I'm not sure if he was ghosted or not. He came back onto the track and nearly clouted that sim guy. He may have been ghosting. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And there's a couple more penalties. Andy and Joachim picking up more penalties. It is definitely a penalty-centric track, this one.
Yeah, looking at the penalties,
Jimmy Jags is up to 15.
Big set of penalties coming everyone's way. Smithy's going to set the fastest time. All the way down in last. But J-Horse quickly bringing that back to himself.
Yeah,
2/10 off.
He may be on the move.
Lifeboat definitely under a lot more pressure this lap than he was last.
Those J-Horse just play the pragmatic and not make a move, knowing that he's got 6 seconds in his pocket. 11 ahead of
I
Mr.
can't
Cookie.
lie, I'm so confident that it'll be J-Horse will only go for a move when it's easy. Because otherwise he doesn't have to.
Doesn't have to
He
take
has
any
no
risks.
need to take that risk right now.
Last thing he wants to do is dive down the inside, cause a collision, 2 of them go out.
And lose the win.
Because at the moment, he could just sit behind him for 10 laps and win the race.
Yeah, exactly.
Hazard closing in on Mr. Cookie. They've been battling away the whole time. Rick's only 2.5 seconds down the road. There's Armin right on his gearbox.
And for the first time, that's a bit of sun coming through.
Yeah.
All the cars lighting up underneath the South French sun. As J-Horse closest I think he's
Got a yellow in sector 2. I think it's RJ Blair.
He's going to go to the inside, doesn't quite get the move. Couple, maybe 100 metres more of track, and he might have just been able to pull that one off. But he's going to have to wait for possibly the back straight, if not next lap.
Started, only 2 of DNF.
I know,
pretty good so far.
I'd say it's a pretty clean race. Penalties would say otherwise, but they are predominantly just either speeding in the pit lane.
With another one, as you say that.
Yeah, speeding in the pit lane or light corner cuts.
Yeah,
or just pushing track limits a little bit too much.
Track limits, yeah.
It's not a particularly unfair racing, really.
And now he's really close. Hazard, is he going to get it done? He's going to go for the outside.
Yeah, he's going to have to swing it around the outside. Whether that can open up a switchback, no. Mr. Cookie denies him of it, but it's a better braking.
Very wide.
He's had to push him. Mr. Cookie's pushed him really hard to the outside there.
Very, very
But now,
wide.
Hazard forcing Mr. Cookie wide. So I think just getting a nice little bit of revenge there, though he does hold position right now. Hazard will probably now just wait until the DRS straight. Just open it up, get the latest possible apex, hammer the throttle, gets on the pace quite quickly. It's going to be a pretty good move. I think he might just be able to make it. He is going to go for it. He's just going to force Mr. Cookie to slow down a little bit in that corner. Possible switch back on. No, not quite. Doesn't quite have the ERS to then push into this chicane here. But he will now just wait for the next DRS straight to probably go again. Lifeboat
1 inch given.
Lost that second. So he's lost that DRS there, Lifeboat. That's unfortunate for him. J-Horse obviously passed.
J-Horse passed him, yeah, we must have missed that.
These two are just racing too hard as Mr. Cookie just trying to break the slipstream wherever he can, forcing Hazard to the outside, but he'll have the inside of the next chicane. Doesn't need it though. Move is made before they even hit the brakes.
And Arman is right close following Rick, and we've got another. Who's that? Is that BTR? No, it's Joe Kim's gone off in sector 1 and is going slowly. Must have had a spin. Another penalty for RJ Blair. Only 5 drivers without penalties now.
Yeah, and I mean, unsurprising to say the least. It's a really difficult track to keep the car on, and yeah, just really, really strict as well.
Now is Arman close enough to Rick on the back straight, on the main straight this time to get it done? He's gonna make a move, and he gets it. Oh, Rick nearly hit him, but he gets the move done.
Close. Move made, but yeah, as you say, only just
9 seconds for Lifeboat. Now Hazard might just fancy second. He's got to catch up around 3 or 4 seconds to nick that second on penalties. He might fancy it. He's going to have to get the hammer down.
Hazard will need to almost make a little truce with Mr. Cookie to stop fighting, otherwise they've got absolutely no chance of catching up to Lifeboat.
And here comes Rick making a move back on
diving
Arman,
up the inside.
Gets it done.
He does get it done. Will Arman push back in this long right-hander? No, he's not. He's going to hold position. So Arman will probably now just wait for a DRS straight.
Chaz Knight Rider might fancy catching these two up if they keep battling like this, as J-Horse sets another fastest lap. He's surely on his way to a comfortable victory. Despite what he said about the rain.
Yeah, he's managed to persevere through the rain. And now on lap
And here comes
22 of
Armin on
27.
Rick again.
That was pretty close there, but not quite enough of a straight. I think that's something we noticed as well. That start-finish straight just isn't quite long enough for people to make moves. People are getting really, really close, but it's just not quite long enough to be able to come side by side and slam the brakes for a nice little dive bomb.
Rather than Hazard closing, it appears that Lifebout is managing that gap.
And Armin, with a kind of reasonable switchback, did
Armin and Rick
keep
again.
pace. He's going to
Great
dive
battle
to the
this.
inside, doesn't go for it.
Doesn't dive.
So he's just keeping that gap really, really close. Armin doing an absolutely magnificent job
I'm
of it.
interested to see if Chaz Knight Rider can close that 2.5 seconds up. See if he can get there as Jimmy Jags. He's got 21 seconds, as So Solid Crew once sung. Yeah, as I say, I'm a 20 seconds plus penalties guy on this track, so he's in good company. And a yellow in sector 1.
That's gone already, so I think that was just someone having a little bit of a mare through a corner.
Was it RJ Blair, I think, in the McLaren? He struggled today.
Yeah, Hazard also continually losing time to Lifebout, so that P2 is pretty much out of reach
takes
now.
a place off Scotty, but penalties may ruin that one for him. Scotty's had a lively race in the midfield. A lot of overtakes here and there both ways. And now he's going to have the DRS to try and make a move back. And a yellow in sector 2, there's an Alpine. It must be Lifebout.
I think that's a
Lifebout.
What has Lifebout done? He's done something. He's just lost about 8 seconds.
Yeah, he has.
And as soon as I look away, Armin and Rick are now having a little fight, running up to the uphill right-hander. And as it stands at the moment, Hazard is currently
Hazard
P2.
will get the second. Yeah, it's close. Suddenly,
It's really
Lifebout
close.
must have had an off of some.
I think he must have spun it
description.
round. To lose 8 seconds of time, well, 7 seconds, that's definitely spin territory. And what's happened here?
And
That's
Scotty
Sim Guy and
that Sim Guy
Scotty
are right side by side.
properly having a bout. Now running
Had to go
into
over the
sector
curb
3,
now, drag
Scotty
race
has
down
got
the
the better
straight.
run. That Sim Guy's going to have to go around the outside if he wants anything. I don't think this is going to be that Sim Guy's corner, but
Well,
Scotty
Scotty
does
made
run
a mistake
a
and
little
used
bit on the inside there.
Too much curb, and he might make it stick by the outside.
That Sim Guy, if he gets the drag, he's managed to out-drag him there into the next corner. That Sim Guy
Great move.
tries the little
Great
switchback,
move.
Scotty does, but doesn't quite pull it off. That is that Sim Guy up into P8 as it stands. But with 11
Great
seconds of
move by that
penalties,
Sim
he
Guy.
will then get pushed back
The
down again.
penalties, yeah, he's going to struggle, and Scotty goes a bit wide, but he'll have the DRS.
It'll probably be used just to catch him back up again rather than to
Yeah,
get
no
a move
there.
done.
It's going to be thrilling for a second, even though it's not an on-track battle. 8.9 at the moment between Lifebout and Hazard, and Lifebout's got the 9 seconds of penalty. With Mr. Cookie
It's
only
really,
0.4
really close.
behind, even though he's got
Hazard
3
right
seconds.
now is leading P2 by 1/10 of a second.
Yeah.
He really needs to hammer the pace down for the next 4 laps if he wants to get it, because it's just ticked into 9 seconds now. Lifebout back up into P2.
Was increasing the gap before he had his moment. As Jack is looking for the points here against BGR.
Oh, big little slip from Rick there as he exited out the final corner, but going to comfortably hold P5 down this start-finish straight.
Jack, of course, is looking for points, but he's also got 3 seconds more penalties.
Yes, yeah.
than the two in front. Hazard's now in a bit of traffic, I think. Coming up to lap his teammate. Lifeboat's got another penalty, and that's going to mean that Hazard looks likely now, even though it's up to 9.5, he's now got 12 seconds. So Hazard might just have P2.
You know what? Lifeboat is going to have to really up the pace here if he wants.
And Mr. Cookie as well might just take Lifeboat off the podium.
Mr. Cookie's got 3 seconds of tyre penalties. 3 seconds of tyre penalties.
9.5 behind him.
No, that's no. Mr. Cookie right now comfortably off the comfortably off the
10.5. So he needs a second and a half. Oh, another late penalty. You never know.
Yeah, possibly.
PGR gets a penalty, but Jack has also got another one, so his quest for points was not helped by getting another penalty. Jimmy Jags gets a penalty, and he's on for 24.
Jimmy Jags verging disqualification here. Nothing unusual about that, but nevertheless.
Oh, we've got a yellow. Is it a Ferrari?
It's a McLaren stopped on track, probably Blair. Yeah.
Yes, I was looking at Andy in front of him in the vicinity.
Rick still under pressure from Arman. These two have not gotten off of each other for about 7-8 laps now. Arman's going to run it up the inside. Yeah. Rick is going to have the inside. A little bit of contact made, but Rick holds position.
Joachim has got a penalty. I don't know why he's in the pits now. But he's got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
That Sim guy having an absolute mare. He's just lost 2 positions. Possibly about to lose another one to Kafjak. He's going to wave Kafjak through. Or not. He's going to fight the position.
Battling for the last point.
Looking at tyres. His tyres don't seem to have gone or anything. But he's gone from, I think, P8 down to P11. I'm not quite sure what's happened
now
there
up
for
to
him.
the points.
Yes, indeed.
Though he needs to pull out a second from that Sim guy, as he's got a second more penalty.
Yeah, he's just got a single second more, which is rather annoying for him.
Has dropped back to 10.8.
Sorry, Arman is going to absolutely fly past Rick there into turn 1. Rick's going to try and hold on.
Kept him honest.
Doesn't quite manage it, so at the moment Arman does take P5.
And that Sim guy takes Jack back over.
And with the
final teammates fighting for the last point.
The final lap of the race currently taking place right now.
11.4 Hazard behind Lifeboat. Lifeboat is driving the arse off of it to try and get the second place.
And it's going to be really, really close. It's a half a second right now. We'll keep watching that with big intrigue. Arman is under pressure from Rick, but Rick has spun on the chicane.
Oh no!
Oh, that is such a shame for him.
Last lap.
However, I think as of right now,
he's only going to drop to 7th. He's going to be all right.
Yeah, he's still going to pick up decent points, but it's not quite P5 that he could have got. However, this man who's driven with precision all race, J-Horse comes
wins.
back. He's won it in France. That is J-Horse's race win, and it's gonna be so close. Lifeboat has come across the line, but it's now all down to Hazard. Will he take P2? Will he take P3? It's so close.
It is so close.
Hazard comes across the line. It's gonna be P2 for Hazard. Only just. That is ridiculously close. Just a tenth of a second there. Mr. Cookie across the line for P4, Arman P5, Chaz Knight Rider has come home in P6, and then Rick has lost it.
Rick has crashed
at the end of the track. Casual stuff. Let's see how these points.
At the last one.
I'm interested in seeing how these penalties lead out.
Scotty coming home for 6th. That single guy's got 14 seconds of penalties now, so he may lose points. He's going to lose 9th to BGR. And
I think it's just going to be a basic wait until everyone comes across the line. I think that's about it for movement-wise. Never fear Andy's here will drop below Blair, but other than that,
yeah, that's
I'm
the
pretty
point.
sure that is our round
That's
out.
the point. That sim guy held on to 10th place from his teammate Jack.
It's an unfortunate race for him, especially after his qualifying, but I don't think strategy played a massive help in that.
BGR for the Red Bull took 9th in the end. Scotty, good race for him in 8th. Very eventful race.
After all of that, penalties included, it was a 20-second race victory for J-Horse. Chaz Knight Rider picking up driver of the day. Clearly made the most overtakes. That is pretty much what clarifies you for driver of the day. But it is the yellow painted Ferrari that comes home and wins it with green and blue to each side. Congratulations to the 3 drivers on the podium, and I shall now get them in a voice chat.
J-Horse in the yellow Ferrari overalls.
And for a quick race rundown, as the skies turn grey and rainy once again in the background, J-Horse has won in the Ferrari with fastest lap as well, so he's absolutely maximised.
And pole position.
It's a perfect race for him. Hazard in P2 after starting P6, so clearly showing that France is one of his best tracks, and Lifebow just dropping a position right at the very end there. Mr. Cookie in P4 for Alfa Romeo and Armin in P5. Chaz Knight Rider P6 and Rick in P7 for the Alfa Romeo. Scotty in P8, SX Perry P9, and that same guy P10 rounds out the points. Kafjak in P11 and Blair P12. Never fear Andy's here P13. Smithy P14, Joachim P15, with Jimmy Jag in P16 being the last of the finishers. Quick Killers and then Severe Scott round out the bottom 2. They both DNF'd out of the race, with Severe Scott unfortunately not gaining a position during the race.
I have to say, just 2 DNFs from a wet starting race. Very impressive. Well done all.
That was very good. Now let's get our 3 podium finishers in the party with us together. We are looking for Hazard, J-Horse, and
Lifeboat.
Lifeboat. Where is he? Where's Lifeboat? Come on, where are you? There you are. Oh, unfortunately, we can't add. I'm pretty sure that's denied us adding one of the drivers because of their settings. So someone's got parental lock. Nevertheless, we shall wait for anyone that can join to join.
Really good race. Got a feel for Rick at the end there, having battled and battled throughout the whole race. Didn't actually see whether it was a collision or something that caused the spin, or just being in that fight for so long, but he dropped a couple of positions because of it. Of course, desyncing out of the sandwich with Hazard and Mr. Cookie was unfortunate for him earlier in the race as well. Here we go, we've got the winner in.
Yeah, winner first. Well, you're the only one here at the moment, Mr. J Horse. So we'll have a chat with you. A win, pretty
I
decent from
win.
last race.
Yeah, I've had a couple of shockers, haven't I? It's nice to get back to on a podium and chatting to you, Carter.
Yeah, well, it has been a pretty good race for you, hasn't it? It kind of just all went right again.
Yeah, it was. I mean, changeable conditions. Obviously, we have the game glitch where you can change your setup before the race. So it was a big decision to make on that, and yeah, went went kind of as smoothly as I would have liked. I think I would have liked it if Lifeboat, I think his name was a little bit slower because he made me sweat a bit, definitely in the brain. But yeah, apart from that, quite a nice day.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's not a whole lot you can complain about, is there? Because well, we have pole position, which was a really strong lap from you. You must be quite pleased with that one. And well, you started the race, you leaded the race, you got fastest lap, and then you finished leading the race. Was there anything that went wrong?
Um, I had a really itchy leg the whole time, which was doing my head in. But apart from that, I think there was a bit of contact with Sim Guy, um, and I think he spun, and he was on the wet, and it was better. I mean, it was half dry, but I think maybe I could have left a bit more space. But yeah, so maybe that. Um, yeah, I think apart from that, it was pretty nice. It definitely feels better after the last after Canada and Silverstone to have a strong weekend because it feels like it's been a while.
yeah, we think that that sim guide strategy to try and hold out could have worked, but then it just came a couple of laps too early that he pitted and then had to pit again, obviously for dries. So he ended up in the midfield. We saw that you overtook Lifeboat in the pits. Um,
I think he overtook me.
ah,
Yeah,
yes.
Lifeboat got in the pits, and then you managed to
And then, yeah,
sneak it
yeah, got
past.
him back because you were behind him for a good 5 laps, and
Yeah,
we were speculating that you saw his penalties and you just didn't want to make any unnecessary dives or anything.
yeah. No, there was a bit of that. Obviously, I think he was on by the time of the pit stops. I think he was on 6 seconds, and obviously I've got to
Yeah.
no. Obviously, with the championship, you don't want to take any stupid risks. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Pete. I think maybe I was just a bit slow coming out of the box and got me. And yeah, just sat behind him for a bit and then managed to get past. And then, I mean, he was keeping up with me really well. So fair play to him. And also, I think he had a moment.
He did, and
But
then he picked up 2 more penalties and lost second.
did he? Oh,
He
I think he
lost
said something
second.
about getting one of
Hazard
them
nicked
removed.
it. Hazard nicked second by .1.
Oh, poor guy. He definitely deserved it. That's a shame for him.
And so obviously this pushes you pretty high up, away from anybody else in the standings. After your closest rival, Aero Blake, wasn't here today. Uh, do you feel a little bit more comfortable up at the top of the championship now after that race?
Yes. Yeah, I think it's. I don't know where did Rick finish? I didn't see in the end.
Rick got
Seventh.
P7,
Got P
Yeah, he had a
seven.
spin on the last lap,
Did he?
and obviously
fighting with the Haas.
Right. Okay.
yeah,
Well, that's
and
a shame for
obviously
him.
R7 wasn't here either. So
Yeah,
it's
true.
been
Well, Mr. Cookie came fourth.
Mr. Cookie was
Yeah,
fourth, yeah.
Yeah, so he's still up there. Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have a bit of a buffer, but obviously, in league racing, anything can change pretty quickly. What I need is another Canada, and it's back wide open. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
So looking forward to next race, then we are off to Austria. What do you make of Austria?
I like Austria. Truck. Um, good for racing as well. So hopefully we can give you guys a
Yeah,
fun
because
little
I
spectacle.
remember last season you didn't race Austria, did you? Because someone
I did
filled
come.
in.
I did your job.
Yeah, you did my job, I did your job.
Yeah, I think
And
we. I definitely did your job a lot worse than you do it.
yeah, well, to be honest, I was like, I think I was P10, and then I got crashed out on the last lap, so it wasn't a good weekend for me either.
Well, maybe this year, if I win the championship, we'll do the same thing on the last race. You
I
can
like that. I like
record.
that plan. I think that should become a tradition that I just nick
Then
the
we'll
championship
get it
winners.
going.
Obviously, if you're going down to the last race, then I'll leave you be.
Yeah, yeah, true.
But other than that, should we do your three-word race roundup?
God, I hate this. Uh, um, was pretty good. All I can
Pretty
think
good.
of. Pretty
Yeah,
good.
well, it was quite a simple race for you, wasn't it? In as a whole.
Yeah.
So, I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
yeah. Congratulations to you on your win, either way.
Thank you very much.
Nice little bounce back for you. And I expect to see you here probably quite soon. I've got to
I hope
say,
so.
having two races without you just here in the party, it was odd.
Was it? I missed you. I missed you so much,
Yeah,
Carter.
I've missed you too, mate. And you, unfortunately, you
Oh,
weren't here for our national anthem last week.
I know. I know. I really wanted to be there for that one as
That
well.
was such a shame.
I'll
Um,
never miss another one. I promise.
but yeah, enjoy the rest of your week and see you for
You know.
Austria.
See you then. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
See ya. Alrighty, so that pretty much rounds us out. The other two drivers weren't able to join us, so we were just having J Horse in, and that was about it. So, Mr. Bobby Butler, since you're not here all the time, you know what? I can give the honours to you to round out the stream. Bobby. Blobby. Hello. Alright, so apparently Blobby Butler has disappeared, so I'll do it instead. Oh, I've left the party, haven't I? Oh, you idiot. Join. Did I leave the party? Or did it kick me out?
Yeah, you left the party. Yeah.
Did I? Right, okay, that is bad force of habit. Because I was trying to say to you, well, since you're our special guest that isn't here all the time, you can round out the stream. And then I was just like, was he disappeared? And then, oh, I've left the party.
I was just like, oh, that's it then.
I'm so used to leaving the party so they don't interrupt me on my rounding out.
Yeah.
Just completely forgot that you were there.
Oh, never mind.
Either way, now you're back again, or now I'm back again. Would you like to round out the stream for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent race. 16 of 18 finishers is incredibly good in a wet to dry race. A lot of close battling, and J Hawes just a cut above today. Really good. Really, really good.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you. I won't be here next week, unfortunately. So you might have a different commentator. You might have none. It fully depends on who is available.
I may very well be.
You might very well be. So you might have Mr. Blobby Butler for next race. So it's Austria. It's a pretty good race to do. There's usually a safety car, which we didn't have today, which was amazing. No
Absolutely,
safety
yeah,
cars.
incredible.
I think that might be a first in BRL history to not have a safety car. I might be wrong there, but it
Especially in the
might be a
rain.
first. Yeah. And yeah, I've been the Castro 6. He's been Bobby Butler. Thank you all very much for watching, and good night.